OSBC TV. We have here, seated right in the studio, Mr. Orlando Muidin Additional, Head of Unit, Persons with Disabilities and Civil Societies Organization from the Office of INEC, Headquarters of INEC in Oshobo here. He's here to represent the Resident Electoral Commissioner, Dr. Mutiu Agboki. Mr. Additional, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, and I want to say good morning to everybody at home at this particular time.
Yes, the topic is towards 2023 election, ensuring free, fair, and credible election, as well as other pertinent issues. Let me start from the issue of 24 polling units where election may not hold.
Not 24, it's 244 polling units.
Within Osun, I'm talking about.
Okay.
How many?
No. We don't have any polling unit where election will not be taking place in Osun State.
What happened to those 244?
244 polling units
Yes.
across all states of the Federation. So elections will not be holding in those polling units because, as at the time they were created, you know, we had a kind of a creation of a polling unit. Now, after 26 years of such an exercise has happened. So we encourage people, especially the registered voters, and during the continuous voter registration exercise, for people to move or to transfer their voting rights to those polling units that have been created, newly created for them, in order to ease voting process on the election day. But unfortunately for INEC, people do not register in those newly created polling units, and it will be at loss materially and resource-wise to continue to maintain those polling units where no registrant has either transferred or registered. Are you getting what I'm saying now?
Yeah.
Because if we have some polling units that are crowded, so like 3,000, 1,005 and the rest, so the number of personnel that we deploy to those crowded polling units will be the same number of personnel to be deployed to polling units where they have lesser registrants. So that is why the Commission now embark on what we call migration through voter redistribution in order to ensure that registered voters are moved from crowded polling units to where we have lesser registered voters. At the end of the exercise, so 244 polling units across all states of the Federation do not have any validly registered voters in those polling units. So that is why election will not be holding in those polling units across all states of the Federation.
Thank you very much. We have few days left for the presidential and other elections.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of it is coming up at a time when crises arrive in the areas of fuel and cash. Nigerians are really groaning now under the yoke of those crises. Nigerians really want to vote. When it comes to voting, elections and something like that, Nigerians are always eager to exercise their rights, especially with the kind of publicity INEC has given the election and enlightenment here and there. It has really come to boost the morale of Nigerians. But what are the arrangements on ground for transportation of sensitive and non-sensitive materials from INEC office to the polling units now in the face of the crisis?
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. You know that the conduct of the business of conduct of successful election cannot only be done by INEC alone. So this serious business is being done in partnership with major stakeholders in the electoral process. What are these major stakeholders? We have security agencies, we have the media, we have the transporters, we have the judiciary, and other major stakeholders in the election process. So, coming back to the questions we have just asked, that in view of a scarcity of fuel, cash, and the rest, and there's no way we can conduct election without cash. So, in view of this, our honorable chairman in Abuja and other management staff of INEC have met with major stakeholders in this election in order to ensure that we have seamless exercise come 25th of February 2023, when presidential election and National Assembly will be held. So the NURTW and other transport unions have had meeting with the Honorable Chairman in Abuja. So we have also done similar things at the state level here, even at the local government level. The chairman of INEC has met, as it is in the news, has met with the CBN governor, has met with the group managing director of NNPC.
Yeah.
So, and they have all assured us that they will give us maximum support to ensure that we have successful election come 25th of February and March 11, 2023. So there's no problem here with that, because solid arrangement has been made, has been put in place by the management of INEC, by meeting with critical stakeholders in this particular election: the CBN governor, the group managing director of NNPC, the transport union, various transport unions. Even as I'm speaking with you, on Friday here in Osogbo, the management of INEC Osun State, ably led by Honorable Rep. Dr. Mochiu Olaleke Abuki, met with the Federal Transport Union in Osun State to ensure what are the issues discussed at this particular meeting is how to transport our both sensitive and non-sensitive materials, as well as the personnel that will be working to various polling units as expected, especially on Friday when they will be moved to what we call RAB, registration area camp, where officials and materials for the election will be camped overnight. So solid arrangement has been made both nationally and at the state level. No problem. No problem.
In the course of the program, my partner on the program, Olumimi Ajiboye Agbola, has been working behind the scene to make the program a success, has just walked in. She has been she has been crossing T's and dotting the I's to ensure the success of the program. And now, having completed those arrangements behind the scene, she can now come on stream. I am talking about Olumimi Ajiboye Agbola. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you, today. Good morning, the people of Osun and Nigerians at large. And we believe that we are going to enjoy today's edition of Saturday Morning Trades. As usual, we have our guests already in the studio. And the topic we are going to look at, we are looking at currently, is towards the 2023 general elections, ensuring free, fair, and credible elections, as well as other pertinent issues.
Yes, our guest, Mr. Olaniyi Muideen Adesina, head of unit of PWD and CSO in headquarters in Osogbo, has been answering my question. Yes, let's take a look at the area of security. Nigerian politicians are capable of many antics, all just towards winning the election by all means. And I know you must have noticed this. When the rep came here, he said he spoke about the efficacy of the beavers.
Yes.
As capable of retiring many erring politicians. That is the language you use there. Is it these beavers still going to perform the magic, or it has been compromised?
Thank you very much, sir. The beavers we are talking about right now is a game changer as far as free, fair, credible, transparent, and acceptable election is concerned in Nigeria. This particular machine we are talking about is so smartly designed that it is extremely difficult, if not totally impossible, for any politician, any of our customer or so client. You understand what I mean by that? So to outsmart it, any attempt to outsmart these particular beavers we are talking about, its end result is not only going to be catastrophic. Any attempt to to bypass the use of BVAS for accreditation for any prospective voter. The end result will not only be calamitous but very catastrophic. So they have come to understand this, and they have learned a lot of lessons on why the need for them to abide by the rules and regulations of the game. So the BVAS definitely is going to perform very wonderfully come 25th February 2023 election. You know, recently we had what we call mock accreditation across all states of the federation. So going by the result of this mock accreditation, our BVAS perform up to 99%. Up to 99% efficiency performance of BVAS according to the report we had. You know, we went all areas where we have this mock accreditation, and we witness it live and direct, and BVAS perform maximally in terms of accreditation of voters.
In terms of transmission of results, there was no mock election.
Yes.
What we had was just mock accreditation.
Yes.
And it is adjudged to be successful.
Yes.
But let's go over to the transmission of results. How about that?
Yes, the transmission of results, you know, after the election has been successfully completed, these BVAS we are talking about will be used to snap the results successfully completed by a presiding officer.
Snap?
Yes, snap the result ECHA. ECHA, yes, and send it to IREF, what we call IREF. It is a portal where the results, successfully completed result at various polling units can be viewed by the public. So there's no problem about that, sir.
So
during
from ECHA still features very prominently in the election.
Yes, it's the result. It's the result at polling unit. You know, the election is conducted at various polling units.
Yes.
So the result will be what? Will be computed at that particular polling unit. It is that result.
Announcement too.
Yes, announcement will be made.
There.
But no declaration.
Okay.
Announcement in the sense that
okay, so party
got this number of votes. So party got this number of votes. That is announcement. It's quite different from declaration.
Okay.
So the declaration will be done.
It depends on the type of election. For the presidential election now, the declaration will be done in Abuja, not even at the state level. Okay. If it's a governorship election, the declaration will be done at the what? At the state level. For the state or federal constituency election, the announcement, I mean the declaration will be done at various constituency that has been designated by INEC to do so. For the senatorial election now, you know, we have 3 senatorial districts in every state of the federation.
Yes.
That of the Osun Central will be done at the declaration will be done at Osun Central level. That of the Osun East will be done at Osun East, while that of the Osun West will be done at Osun East level. For the federal constituency election, we have 9 in Osun.
You meant Osun West level.
Yes, Osun West level. That of the federal House of Representatives, you know, we have 9. Federal House of federal constituency in Osun, we have 9. The declaration will be done at different federal constituency level in Osun. So what I'm saying in essence is that announcement is quite different from declaration of results.
Okay. During the mock accreditation exercise, we observed that PWDs were not used, or were they used? That is, persons with disabilities were not used. What is the INEC putting on ground to take care of them by exercising their rights?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. During the mock accreditation, it is not as if PWDs are not used. Every validly registered voter were called upon to come and participate in that mock accreditation system. So probably they just felt not to come out and be part of the exercise. So it is not as if they were not.
Was there any sensitization put in place for that?
Yes. in fact, there were several sensitization we put in place. We came on radio, we came on TV to make announcement for people to come out, and witness.
PWDs.
PWDs, we have a lot of programs, a lot of arrangement for them to participate, for their seamless participation in the electoral process. In fact, INEC is one of the MDAs in Nigeria that is putting in place a lot of measures to ensure not only full participation of PWD in the electoral process, but in all aspects of life. Let me cite this as an example.
Okay.
Before the Discrimination Act came into being in 2019, INEC had already gone ahead to produce what we call a working document. We call it INEC PWD participation in the electoral process. So it's a working document for INEC. For us to be able to affect the huge number of persons with disability in Nigeria. You know, the WHO has given us an information that every countries of the world, irrespective of each of our status, perhaps developed, underdeveloped, or developed nation, the population of such a country constitutes at least 10 to 15% of persons with disabilities. Going by the estimated population of Nigeria, which is about 250 million, you will discover that by the time we do our computation, we discover that we have nothing less than 25 to 27 million Nigerians who are persons with disabilities. So, as a commission that is very responsible and responsive, there is no way we can look away with this huge population without finding a way of bringing them into full participation in the electoral process. So a lot of programs are on ground. So the Committee of Disability in Osun State in particular has been adequately sensitized to participate in the electoral process. We have EC40H for them to use on the day of election to capture their statistics of participation in the electoral process. So a lot of programs are on ground for them.
The blind?
Yes, we call them visually
impaired persons.
Yes, visually impaired person. We have produced braille ballot guide. For them to be able to exercise their franchise with little or no assistance or independently. So this braille ballot guide we put is a form of jacket. So the ballot paper will be inserted into the braille ballot guide. It will be handed over to a visually impaired voter by the presiding officer to go and exercise his or her franchise.
So not all the visually impaired persons are educated.
Yes.
Most of them are not educated. And you have not spoken about either you have factored them into the arrangement or not.
They have been factored in. Those that are educated among them who can read braille, so these materials are meant for them. But those that cannot read the braille, they can bring somebody that will assist them to come and do that, to come and vote.
Somebody from outside, that is their person.
They are a member of their family. Not even party agent, not even the security, not even the INEC official. No. So there is a clear provision on that. They can bring somebody from home, the person that they trust so much, not even people on the queue.
What about the old people?
The aged.
The aged ones?
Yes.
Any arrangement for them?
There is arrangement for them. We have what we call priority voting. This priority voting is meant for category of persons with disabilities, all categories of persons with disabilities, aged people, heavily pregnant women, and the rest. So,
women with babies.
Yes, women with babies. So this priority voting is also applicable to them. Yes, once they come to the polling unit, irrespective of the time they come. So our presiding officers, our poll officers have been adequately sensitized that they should be attended to first. So no problem.
The duration of votes or voting.
Yes.
Normally, when you get there will be no waiting. When you get there, you begin to perform your right as a voter. But for as long as what time? What is the normal
duration?
Yes, polling. Opening of poll commences by 8:30 and it ends by 2:30. Preferably, all those who are on queue before 2:30 have been attended to.
But in a situation where, because you said many of the polling units are overcrowded.
Yes.
So in an overcrowded polling unit, the number may go up to 3,000.
Yes.
And the functionality of the beavers is another cause of concern. And when the beaver performs optimally, and the people on queue, 2,000-3,000 of them vote, 230 most of the time may not be feasible.
Thank you very much, sir. I said something at the beginning of this program that in view of the fact that our experiences in the past, especially at the crowded polling unit, you know, we ask people to move their voting right to newly created polling in order to avoid this scenario you have just painted. So, but our people refused to do that. That was why the commission embarked on migration stroke redistribution of voters to proximate polling units. We have done that successfully now, and the registers of those of the affected polling units have been printed and pasted at various places for people to go and check where they are going to vote. So, in order to answer the questions you have asked, we have worked on our BFAS to be able to work optimally for accreditation, successful accreditation to take place. This time around, it's not going to take much time. It's between 1 to 2 minutes. Accreditation is done successfully. We have worked on our BFAS now. So the issue of 40 till 4, 5 to the night is not going to occur at all. It's not going to occur at all. So 2 things have been put in place. Migration stroke redistribution of voters from crowded polling units to where we have lesser voters. We have done that one. I've also told you that we have
the people concerned have no.
Yes. Yes, that is I said the registers of the affected polling units have been printed by the commission. They have been pasted at the affected places for people to go and see where they are going to vote this time around. The second measure put in place is that we have improved our BFAS to be able to perform optimally. That within 1 to 2 minutes, accreditation is done successfully.
How about the party agents? How do you take care of them in a situation whereby you have people with different opinions about their political parties and who to vote for? And how are you going to handle the party agents in order not to have a kind of negative influence on the voters, on the prospective voters?
Measures have been put in place. Party agents, as we all know, only one party agent for each political party is expected at the polling unit. So the party agents have been engaged to know their rights, to know their limits and limitation, what they can do. They can only observe the process. They cannot intervene. Are you getting it now?
Yes,
so
yes.
They have been educated on that. They know their rights, they know what they are expected to do and what they are not expected to do on the day of election. So party agents political parties are going to be represented at various polling units, and only one party agent is going to represent each political party. For instance, if you are having 15 or 18 political party contesting for election, only 18 party agents are expected to be at the polling unit. So they don't have problem. They have been told on several occasions that they don't have the right to influence the choice of the prospective voters. Doing that is a gross violation of electoral law and the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And if they are caught doing that, the end result will not be good for them. It's either 500,000 naira or 2 years imprisonment or both. Yes, they have been sensitized. The political leaders have been sensitized towards understanding that. So that is why we are not having an issue with the party agent at the polling unit.
INEC has been able to perfect many areas, but one area that is left unperfected is vote buying. Vote buying in Nigeria has become endemic. Elections in this country have been utterly commercialized, that voting attracts so much money now. And INEC has not been able to come up with a solution to the issue of vote buying and vote selling.
Thank you very much, sir. The issue of vote buying is also a source of concern, worry to INEC. But the problem is that on the day of election, INEC also has limit and limitation.
Okay.
If vote buying is not taking place within the polling zone, INEC does not have power to do anything. For instance, the polling zone we are talking about is about 300 meters. Anything happening outside 300 meters of polling zone, if we dabble into such happening and our officers got injured, nobody should be blamed, because we are being confined to operate, to see to happenings within 300 meter polling zone.
Okay.
If anything happens outside that, it's none of the commission's business, it's none of the INEC business. So we are trying our best. We are trying our best. In the 2018 governorship election, a person was caught in Iwo.
Okay.
Yes, trying to influence the choice of the voters.
Okay.
He was caught by a security agent with huge amount of money on him. As we are speaking, the person is still battling with court cases in Iwo, Assis. Not 2022 governorship election, 2018 governorship election. So if you interrogate the person will tell you that, in fact, he has been subjected to serious of problems. So if such a person is engaged another time to come and what? To come and engage in vote buying, to come and influence the choice of the people, definitely the person will run away. Likewise, in many states of the federation, those that were caught with huge amount of money on them, probably to influence the choice of the voters, so they are battling with court cases.
Okay.
So we are trying our best, and with time, with your support, media support, to sensitize members of the public, I think we will come over the problem very soon.
Okay, what about the situation of adult staff, or let me say INEC staff that are being deployed, that will be deployed to villages, their mobility and accommodation? Can you please shed more light on that?
Yes, at the beginning of this program, I think we talked about that. INEC staff, ad-hoc staff that will be deployed for the election, solid arrangement has been made by the management of the commission, both at national level and state level, with various transport unions in the state, to ensure free flow of these ad-hoc staff, men and material that will be deployed to polling unit, in order to ensure that polling opens at exactly 8:30 a.m. Series of meetings have been held with this category of people I've just mentioned. Even just last week, Friday, another round of meeting was held by the Honorable Representative Commissioner with his management team, with the transport union, even with independent marketers.
Okay.
So it's very scarce to get fuel now. So we have made arrangement with filling stations managers in the state, and we are going to get our supply directly to their filling station. So it is from there that all the vehicles that will convey both men and materials to various polling units or to various camps are going to get their fuel from. It's not only based in Oshogbo.
Okay.
Yes, the arrangement spread all over the state. Spread all over the state. So in terms of mobility, movement of men and materials to various camps and the polling units, I think the arrangement is so superb for now.
Okay.
Let's take a look at security. On the day of the election, we have almost all the security agencies on ground, and the issue of gangsterism and all other things are not featuring for now. But this one is in presidential election. It involves everybody, every state.
Yes.
It's not an off-season election.
Yes.
it is an unseasoned election.
Yes.
And be that as it may, what are the security arrangements on ground to ensure that the election is done under an atmosphere of peace and normality?
Thank you very much. We have what we call ICES, Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security. Comprises the Honorable Rec at the state level, Honorable Chairman at the national level, and electoral officer at the local government level. This ICES comprises all security aides in the state. So they do have regular meeting. Just last week, Friday, they had another meeting. And what do they discuss? Is the issue of how to have seamless conduct of election. So all the flashpoints in Osun State
have been identified.
All the flashpoints in Osun State where the issue of gangsterism and the rest will come up. You know, this is not the first time of having an election in Osun State.
Yes.
So not even election, not even ordinary election, successful election in Osun State. So they have been able to map out their strategy in such a way that all those issues are nabbed before they rear their ugly head.
Movements. Let's talk about movements.
Of who?
Of we pedestrians, that is people that will walk with their legs without vehicles forever. Are we allowed to open our shops and stores? Or
you are not allowed. Everything will be shut down on the day of election.
Okay.
So even nationwide.
Okay. Are people allowed to bring their wares to the election centers?
They are not allowed.
The polling units?
They are not allowed.
Why? So we'll not be able to buy pure water, sweets and biscuits and some other things.
Ordinarily,
so we are not allowed to buy.
We are not because it can. You know, if you allow people to bring their wares to come and sell at polling units, so it can be used. It can be hijacked by hoodlums to disrupt electoral process. That is why it is not allowed.
Even those who are supposed to sell are prospective voters too.
Yes. By the time you allow them, so it's like you are reducing the number of people that will participate in the election, and as a result, we will be having voter apathy. So they are not allowed.
èèyàn wa láti bí ìṣẹ́jú díẹ̀ láti wà lọ́dọ̀ láti bá aṣojú ọ̀gá àgbà lẹ́ka nílé iṣẹ́ elétò ìdìbò nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun sọ̀rọ̀. Àwọn ni ọ̀gbẹ́ni Ọláníyì Muideen Adésínà tí wọ́n jẹ́ olórí ẹ̀ka tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn àkàndá ẹ̀dá àtàwọn ẹgbẹ́ ajàfẹ́tọ̀ọ́ ọmọnìyàn ní olú iléeṣẹ́ àjọ elétò ìdìbò ìpínlẹ̀ yìí INEC. Àwọn ti dáhùn oríṣiríṣi ìbéèrè ní èdè òyìnbó. Àwa fẹ́ bọ́ sédè Yorùbá báyìí tí yóò fi yé gbogbo wa pátápátá. Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Ọláníyì.
Yes, sir.
Tá a bá wo àkọ́kọ́ tá a dìbò ìpínlẹ̀ ìkọ́ yìí àti ní gbogbo Nàìjíríà lápapọ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n lásìkò yìí ìyàtọ̀ díẹ̀ fẹ́ bá wẹ àárọ̀ torí pé lásìkò yìí làlúrí ọ̀rọ̀ epo ó ń bá orílẹ̀-èdè yìí fínra lọ́wọ́. Owó tuntun tí wọ́n ṣe gbé síta oúnjẹ náà di wàhálà tó jẹ́ pé àwọn èèyàn fi gbogbo ara rí owó ọ̀nà. Irú àsìkò yìí tí tó tọ̀rọ̀ rí báyìí lé àtìfẹ́ ṣèdìbò bá a sì rọ́kọ̀ àdékò bá a rí epo bá a rí owó nǹkan ò sẹ́nu rẹ̀ pàápàá jùlọ nílé àwọn olùdìbò inú dídùn ní sì móríyá ibùdó bọ́lọ̀ dé lórí èèyàn.
Ẹ ṣeun olóòtú. Àwọn àgbà máa sọ wípé bàbá ta àátọ ní tá a bá tọ yóò ṣe kí ni o yóò dẹrẹ onídìí.
ibùdó wa tọ níbi tẹ̀tọ̀ yìí.
Níbi tá a tọ̀ dé náà ni wípé gbogbo wa náà ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà náà ni gbogbo wa jíde ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ yìí gbogbo wa náà lọ́jọ́jọ́ affect. So but ètò ìdìbò national assignment ni kò gbọdọ̀ wọlé ó sì wà time buying ó lásìkò tá a gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe tá a bá ti lè ṣe a máa run foul of the constitution a máa tàpá sí òfin so àjọ elétò ìdìbò dẹ̀ nìyí is a creation of a law àjọ tí òfin gbé kalẹ̀ ni gbogbo tó dẹ̀ máa ń ṣe pátápátá ó gbọ́dọ̀ máa tẹ̀lé ẹsẹ̀ òfin ni so látàrí pé kí á bá wá tàpá sí òfin ọ̀gá àgbà wa l'Àbújá ìyẹn honourable chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu ó ti lọ ṣèpàdé pẹ̀lú Governor Central Bank ó ti lọ ṣèpàdé pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ ó ti lọ ṣèpàdé pẹ̀lú àjọ kí ni wọ́n máa ń pè GMD ti NNPC àjọ ọ̀gá àgbà NNPC tí wọ́n rí sí ọ̀rọ̀ epo rọ̀bì ó ti lọ ṣèpàdé pẹ̀lú wọn so gbogbo àwọn ó yẹ tún ti lọ ṣèpàdé pẹ̀lú àwọn tí wọ́n ń ṣe tí wọ́n jẹ́ onímọ́tò gbogbo àwọn ẹgbẹ́ àwọn onímọ́tò pátápátá ó ṣèpàdé pẹ̀lú wọn ó dẹ̀ pani dandan fún àwọn rec àwọn ọ̀gá àgbà elétò ìdìbò ní ìpínlẹ̀ kọ̀ọ̀kan pé káwọn náà ṣe irú ìpàdé bẹ́ẹ̀ gbogbo náà ti ṣe irú ìpàdé yìí wọ́n dẹ̀ ti fi dá iléeṣẹ́ INEC lójú wípé kò ní sí wàhálà pé gbogbo ohun tí a bá need láti lò kí ètò ìdìbò yìí kó lè bá kẹsẹ̀ járí kó lè lọ ní ìrọwọ́ rẹsẹ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀ làwọn ó ṣe fún wa lọ́rọ̀ ti epo ní problem níbẹ̀ yẹn ọ̀gá àgbà tó ń rí sí àjọ epo rọ̀bì ó ti sọ pé òun ò fún wa ní epo kì í ṣe pé yóò fún wa lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ o bẹ́ẹ̀ ní tí mò ń sọ ni wípé ètò ti tò àárẹ̀ epo lò owó ló bá dé àárẹ̀ epo lò dáadáa tí ò ní sí pé bóyá torí pé àárẹ̀ epo lò ìní ọ̀jẹ̀ káwọn èèyàn ó lè lọ síbi tí wọ́n ti ṣiṣẹ́ so nítorí ìyẹn bóyá ìyẹn náà wá jẹ́ kí ìbò wáyé ní àsìkò tó yẹ kí ìbò bẹ̀rẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni tọ̀rọ̀ olówó dé ọ̀gá àgbà wa ti ṣerú àwọn ètò bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn kò sí wàhálà rárá lọ́rọ̀ má jẹ́ ká rí aburú pẹ̀lú ètò tí ó ti wà ńlẹ̀ o bákan náà àwọn ọ̀gá àgbà olórí ètò aláàbò ní Àbújá ni ní state level ni àti ní local government level ni gbogbo wọn náà láti ṣèpàdé pẹ̀lú wọn ní abẹ́ ìfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ tá à ń pè ní ICES ìyẹn Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security àbí mo sì fẹ́ tún yẹn ní Yorùbá so a ti ṣèpàdé lóòrèkóòrè wọ́n dẹ̀ ti fi dá wa lójú wípé nípa ètò ààbò mímìkan ò ní mi ètò election tí ń bọ̀ yìí yóò lọ ní ìrọwọ́ rẹsẹ̀ tí ò ní sí wàhálà kankan láfikún ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa jàgídíjàgan ní ẹ̀kan wípé tẹ́ bá wò dáadáa rí i pé jàgídíjàgan ti ń dínkù nínú òṣèlú wa kí dẹ̀ ló fà á introduction of technologies especially the BFAS
ẹ̀rọ tó ń yẹ káwọ́
gbígbé ẹ̀rọ tó ń yẹ ìkawọ̀ tí wọ́n gbé wá yẹn game changer ni o Ọlọ́run ọba ń gbọ́ ẹni tí ò bá mọ̀ ni ò mọ̀ ó yẹ kí a fi ká máa láyé ra wa dáadáa game changer ni kò sí ẹnì kankan ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà lónìí tó lè dìbò lẹ́ẹ̀mejì kò sẹ́nì kankan tó lè dìbò láìsẹ̀ wípé ẹ̀rọ tí ń yẹ káàdì wò yìí ó ṣe kí ni ó yẹ nìyẹn wò ó dẹ̀ máàkì ẹ̀ wípé lóòótọ́ ọlẹ́tọ̀ọ́ àti dìbò tí èèyàn bá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ tó bá lọ bypass ẹ̀ tí ò jẹ́ kí ẹ̀rọ tí ń yẹ káàdì dìbò kó yẹ òun wò tó bá lọ rú mọ́ àwọn èèyàn tó lọ ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ tó lọ dìbò ó kó bá gbogbo àwọn tó ti dìbò ní polling unit yẹn ni o torí pé kí ni ní tá à ń pè ní over voting ìdìbò lé kọjá àwọn tí ẹ̀rọ yìí ti yẹ̀ wò ó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ tó bá dẹ̀ ti ṣẹlẹ̀ provision of the law ó so clear lórí yẹn wípé outright cancellation ni wọ́n á gbégi lé ni ẹ bá dìbò 1000 2000 ní polling unit yẹn tó bá fi lé ẹyọ kan péré.
ọ̀gá àgbà elétò ìdìbò wọ́n sọ gbà kan pé àwọn olóṣèlú kan wọ́n fi òṣèlú lẹ̀ torí ẹ̀rọ BVAS àlàyé rẹ̀ bóò ló ṣe jẹ́.
òótọ́ ni mo ìbílẹ̀ sọ kankan lẹ́ẹ̀kan yìí pé game changer ni BVAS yìí torí pé tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ tí a bá wò dáadáa gbogbo náà lọ́mọ Nàìjíríà àtẹ̀sẹ̀sẹ̀ máa selection àwọn ènìyàn tá a ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ àwọn èèyàn complain pé ó kún fún màkàrúrù nǹkankan ṣùgbọ́n ẹ̀rọ tí wọ́n gbé wáyìí kò fààyè gba màkàrúrù o olóṣèlú tó wá hàn wípé màkàrúrù ni ló ń fi lè win election sẹ́mi pé irú olóṣèlú bẹ́ẹ̀ will be retire permanently from politics tí ó bá máa ṣe dáadáa sí àwọn aráàlú káwọn aráàlú ó gba tiẹ̀ káwọn aráàlú ó dìbò fún so definitely yóò machine yìí ẹ̀rọ yìí yóò retire rẹ o.
ìtumọ̀ rẹ̀ báyìí níta ìsọ fún wa ni pé ìbò tá a bá dì bó ṣe rí gẹ́lẹ́ ni yóò jáde.
bó ṣe rí gẹ́lẹ́ ni yóò jáde ẹ jẹ́ n fi kún sáà ní ọjọ́ ìdìbò tá a bá ti dìbò tán àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ àjọ INEC fọ́ọ̀mù kan wà tí wọ́n ń pè ní EC60E lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí wọ́n bá ti fíìlì resources tán tó ti correct dáadáa wọ́n wá transfer ní tí wọ́n ti fíìlì resources tí wọ́n ti fíìlì ní polling unit yìí sí inú ìwé yẹn pósítà ni wọ́n wá lẹ̀ mọ́ ara àgànná tí wọ́n ti dìbò gbogbo yẹn máa wá rí ẹ lè lo smartphone yín kẹfì yá yàtọ̀ sí yẹn sẹ́wọ̀n kí wọ́n wà ní permanently ní tí wọ́n bá sì dànù yàtọ̀ sí yẹn resources tí wọ́n ti fill correctly yìí tí gbogbo àwọn aṣojú àwọn ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú tí wọ́n ti fọwọ́ sí tí wọ́n ti sign sí pé a witness ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe rí iná ni ẹ ṣe kọ sílẹ̀ yìí wọ́n tún wá fi ẹ̀rọ bífàsì yìí wọ́n tún fi yà á wọ́n tún sẹ́ndì ẹ̀ sí pọ́tà wa ìyẹn IREF tó ṣe wípé gbogbo àwọn tó máa ti rẹ́jísítà pẹ̀lú IREF yìí wọ́n lè máa wò títí láíláí rìsọ́ọ̀tì àwọn ẹ̀lẹ́sìn tá a ṣe kọjá níbẹ̀ lórí IREF yìí di sí o so ẹni tó bá ti wá yà lára ògiri tí ó wá rẹ́jísítà pẹ̀lú IREF tó tún lọ wò ń bẹ̀ tó bá wá yàtọ̀ kò tí ẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ yàtọ̀ so ìyẹn ni wípé ẹ̀rọ bífàsì yìí ó ti mú ìgbà ọ̀tun bá ìwé àárọ̀ kò sí èrú kankan ìbò tá a bá dì báyìí iná àlà contest ní Ọ̀ṣun tí ń gbé àpótí ìdìbò ní Ọ̀ṣun lónìí o tí ó wọlé ìdìbò láìṣe wípé ẹni tí àwọn aráàlú bá dìbò fún bó ṣe rí inú ṣùgbọ́n kó yí àwọn èèyàn wa dáadáa kí wọ́n má bypass bífàsì.
àwọn olóṣèlú Nàìjíríà
yes sir
wọ́n máa ń gbọ́n já àwọn àgbékalẹ̀ ètò yín irú ẹ̀ bá a ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí dípò kí wọ́n máa ṣiṣẹ́ lórí àwọn èèyàn tí ó dìbò fún wọn ọgbọ́n bí wọ́n ṣe lọ takò yín níbi tí wọ́n ti máa takò yín ni wọ́n máa dá ẹ̀yin náà ò ṣe ṣe tí ọmọ ṣe.
àwa náà ṣe mọ́sẹ̀ bí wọ́n ṣe gbọ́n nílé kinní kan ní bóyá nílé àná ni mi mọ òye dáadáa ẹ̀yìn ẹ̀ mọ̀ dáadáa torí ẹ̀yìn àgbàlagbà lẹ́yìn bí wọ́n ṣe gbọ́n nílé ọkọ̀ náà ni wọ́n gbọ́n nílé àlè bí INEC ṣe ń plan wípé ká máa ní successful election tó yẹ wípé tí àwọn èèyàn bá di tí àwọn èèyàn máa nípa lóòótọ́ làwọn èèyàn náà ń plan tẹ́ bá gbọ́ ọ̀gá àgbà wa nígbà tá a ṣèbò governorship election tán lọ́sùn wọ́n ní wọ́n àtàkì sáfà INEC even kì í ṣe láti Nàìjíríà gan o láti Asian countries so àwọn sábà wọn olóṣèlú ṣé àwọn èbó náà wà á máa àtàkì rẹ tí wọn bá bẹ̀ wọ́n ní ọ̀wẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n aṣọ pé kí ni o wọn ò láṣeyọrí lórí ẹ̀ so ó túmọ̀ sí wípé bí wọ́n ṣe gbọ́n nílé àná náà ni wọ́n gbọ́n nílé àlè bí wọ́n ṣe ń gbégbèsè báwọn ṣe ń gbégbèsè kí nǹkan dáa táwọn wá bí ọ̀nà bí wọ́n ṣe máa dàrú so wọn ò rí ọ̀nà àbáyọ lórí ìyẹn so irú rẹ̀ náà lọ fọ ẹ̀rọ bí fásitì ń gbé wáyé bó ṣe rí nìyẹn sà.
fún àǹfààní àwọn tó ti ń wò wá nílé rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn tí wọ́n bá ní ìpèníjà ara kí ni nǹkan tí àjọ INEC ṣe ní ètò láti jẹ́ pé àwọn náà wọ́n dìbò wọ́n ṣe ẹ̀tọ́ wọn. ẹ
ṣeun olóòtú gẹ́gẹ́ bí designation mi gẹ́gẹ́ bí ipò kí ni wọ́n ń pè ààyè tẹ́mi mójútó ní INEC ẹ rí i pé wọ́n ní persons with disability àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n ní ìpèníjà ara àti àwọn àjọ ajìjàgbara yes INEC ti ṣètò tó pọ̀ fún àwọn tá à ń pè ní disability community in Nigeria not only in Osun State nationwide àkọ́kọ́ kó tó di pé Provision Act of discrimination against persons with disability act tí president Muhammadu Buhari tó sign ní 2019 February 2019 tó sign into law àjọ eléso òdìbò wọ́n rí wípé àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n ní ìpèníjà ara wọ́n máa pọ̀ gan débi wípé tí wọ́n bá ń dìbò ní ojú kan náà kódà wọ́n lè máa yẹni tí ó di ààrẹ fún àpẹẹrẹ àjọ ìlera elétò ìdìbò lágbàáyé wọ́n já mọ̀ wípé ní gbogbo orílẹ̀-èdè kọ̀ọ̀kan o kò síbi tí wọ́n ti ní àwọn tí wọ́n ní ìpèníjà ara ìpèníjà ara yìí percentage wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti bí 10 to 15%. tá a bá wo iye population wa Nàìjíríà tá a pè ní 250 million ní ìmọ̀ Yorùbá rẹ̀ a rí i pé tá a bá ṣe calculation rẹ̀ tá a bá wá wò ó pẹ̀lú 10 to 15% yìí ó kéré jù a máa ní èèyàn tó jẹ́ bí 25 to 27 million Nigerians tí wọ́n jẹ́ àwọn tó ní ìpèníjà ara so àjọ iléeṣẹ́ elétò ìdìbò INEC wọ́n wò pé kò yẹ kí ká mójú kúrò níbi irú population báyìí tá a bá sọ pé a fẹ́ ṣe ètò ìdìbò tí ò ní fi ẹnìkan kálẹ̀ láti kópa kí ni wọ́n wá ṣe o wọ́n wá affect population wọn láti bí ìforúkọsílẹ̀ níta àkọ́kọ́ ṣe ni wípé gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n forúkọsílẹ̀ yìí tí wọ́n jẹ́ onípèníjà ara yìí a lọ wárú ìpèníjà ara wo ni wọ́n ní àwọn tí wọ́n ní ìpèníjà ojú àwọn tí wọ́n ní ìpèníjà etí àwọn tí wọ́n ní ìpèníjà àti sọ̀rọ̀ àtàwọn tí wọ́n ní ẹsẹ̀ ní tí wọ́n wá ṣe ni pé wọ́n lọ disaggregate data wọn wọ́n dẹ̀ trace ibi tí polling unit wọ́n register sí àìsẹ̀sẹ̀ yẹn sì báyìí ni o so ìyẹn ni ó fún wa láǹfààní àti wò wípé kí ni àwọn ètò tí ó yẹ ká ṣe fún àwọn category of these people tí àwọn ló fi lè dìbò wọn gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà so lórí tàwọn tó ní ìpèníjà ojú a produce tá à ń pè ní braille ballot guide in fact Ọ̀ṣun ṣoríire gan ní 2018 brave ballot guide yìí Ọ̀ṣun state ni wọ́n ti pilot ẹ̀ náà ti kọ́kọ́ lò so brave ballot guide yìí ìyẹn ni ó fún àwọn tó nípèníjà ojú tí wọ́n bá lè ka braille láti lè dìbò fún ẹni tó wù wọ́n láì ṣe pé bóyá wọ́n múyàn wá láti lé.
àwọn tí ò bá lè ka braille.
àwọn tí ò bá lè ka braille òfin fààyè gbà wọ́n kí wọ́n mú ẹbí wọn wá láti lé láti wá bá wọn ṣe ojúṣe yẹ kí ṣe pé báyọ̀ ní wọ́n bá wọn dìbò lọ́kàn tọ́ wọn níka bí wọ́n ṣe dìbò ṣùgbọ́n láti mọ̀mọ́ influence choice àwọn tí wọ́n nípèníjà ojú ní àjọ iléeṣẹ́ INEC ló fi produce tá à ń pè ní brave ballot guide so that wọ́n lè ṣojúṣe wọn láti pé bóyá ẹnìkan influence choice wọn tí wọ́n fẹ́ dìbò fún bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àwọn tó nípèníjà àwọn tí person with albinism
àwọn àfin
àìpé wọn yàtọ̀
kílẹ̀ máa ń pè wọ́n.
àwọn tó nípèníjà àní yóò lè di person with albinism yìí ọ̀bẹ ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n ní ká má pè wọ́n lábìnú ká má pè wọ́n lábìnú ó má bí wọn nínú so ètí wọ́n sọ ní pé èèyàn làwọn náà ẹ kọ́kọ́ rí èèyàn nínú àwọn náà kẹ́ ẹ tó rí disability àwọn.
àwọn tí ẹ̀yà ara wọn yàtọ̀.
tọ àwọn tí ẹ̀yà ara wọn yàtọ̀ bóyá ká ló bẹ́yẹn àjọ lè sẹ́wọ̀n pé wọn ò lè pẹ́ nínú oòrùn sẹ́wọ̀n pé wọn ò lè pẹ́ nínú oòrùn
bẹ́ẹ̀
so tó bá dẹ̀ ti dọ̀sán wọn ìsábà rí iná dáadáa àjọ ilé INEC wá produce tá à ń pè ní magnifier glasses magnifying glasses tó yẹ pé tí wọ́n bá ti gbé sójú báyìí wọ́n rí iná rí yóò embody ní tó wà lórí ballot paper yẹn yóò enlarge dáadáa yóò jẹ́ kó tóbi sí i débi pé wọ́n lè rí choice wọn àti produce yẹn Ọ̀ṣun state yìí náà láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí kọ́kọ́ lò ìyẹn èyí tó jẹ́ ọ̀tun tí wọ́n ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ṣe tí wọ́n ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ ní 2011 wọ́n di pé yẹn kò múnádóko tó wọ́n wá ṣe míì sí débi wípé ibùn tó bá di alẹ́ káṣẹ̀ sọ́kọ́ àdìbò di alẹ́ ó ní bátìrì ìyẹn magnifying glasses ìyẹn ó ní bátìrì tí wọ́n fi sí tí ó tún lè jẹ́ kó wà more brighter kó mọ́lẹ̀ sí i so àwọn yẹn náà àwọn náà lè lo ìyẹn àtúnwá produce yìí dáńpé ní written instruction on election process and procedure fún àwọn tó nípèníjà àti sọ̀rọ̀ àti àwọn tó nípèníjà etí pósítà ni wọ́n á lẹ̀ mọ́ polling unit kọ̀ọ̀kan tí wọ́n bá ti débẹ̀ so àwọn tó bá mọ̀wé nínú wọn dípò wọ́n fi máa da nǹkan rú tí wọ́n bá ti wo pósítà yẹn báyìí wọ́n kọ́ lọ́rọ̀ wọ́n tó yà ní àwòrán yọ̀dà fínsà wọ́n tó yà láwòrán tí wọ́n bá ti débẹ̀ báyìí wọ́n á ti wò ókè number 1 first step nìyí second step ní títí tí wọ́n fi ṣe ojúṣe wọn láì ṣe pé bóyá wọ́n da polling unit rú.
ǹjẹ́ ètò àjọ elétò ìdìbò ṣe ti èdè abínibí?
èdè
abínibí bírò èdè Yorùbá èdè Ìgbò èdè Haúsá bí kíkọ tí kíní pósítà tẹ̀sán yẹn ni pé ìjẹ́ ó wà lẹ̀ fún àwọn tí wọn bá nílè ka èdè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì bẹ́ẹ̀.
ó wà a ṣe yẹn náà torí pé gbogbo àná la mọ̀ wípé èdè abínibí wa ó ní à ń sọ jù òde òyìnbó èdè elédè ni àkànyá lò ní so a ti take ìyẹn into consideration ìyẹn náà wà tá a ṣe pósítà yẹn náà ní Yorùbá wọ́n ṣe láwùsá wọ́n ṣe ní Ìgbò so tí wọ́n lè mọ polling unit fún àwọn yẹn láti ṣe ojúṣe.
ìgbòkègbodè ọkọ̀ nǹkan o.
kò sí wàhálà.
nígbà tá a wàrà súùtù lọ́jọ́ ìdìbò ṣé àǹfààní wà fáwọn èèyàn láti gbé ọjà bíi súùtù pure water àti gbogbo ẹ̀.
òfin ni ọ̀fà àyè gbà. òfin ọ̀fà àyè gbà ìdí dẹ̀ ni wípé tí wọ́n fàyè gbà àwọn ará bí àwọn ọmọ àta yìí wọ́n lè gọ sí abẹ́ yẹn kó fi máa pitú iṣẹ́ láàbí tí ń bẹ lọ́wọ́ wọn.
ìyẹn ni wípé tó bá fẹ́ jẹun kó gbóúnjẹ wá láti ilé tàbí.
kó tẹ̀ jẹ́ kó jẹun láti ilé ni
àyè wà láti.
kò sí wàhálà gbogbo tí a fi dìbò ń sè báyìí ẹnìkọ̀ọ̀kan tí ó fi máa dìbò ń sè báyìí sọ ma yí pé ṣe àyẹ̀wò kó rẹ̀ lọ gba ballot paper kó rẹ̀ lọ dìbò ni kì í ṣe kó bá yà ọ́ lọ
lọ́wọ́ ìṣẹ́jú mélòó.
kò gbọ́dọ̀ ju kó gbọ́dọ̀ kò gbọ́dọ̀ ju ìṣẹ́jú méjì lọ láàrin ìṣẹ́jú kan sí ìṣẹ́jú méjì tí wọ́n fi ṣe accreditation.
kò ṣe pé ìta máa tò gbọ́ọ̀rọ̀ sínú oòrùn.
ó tó di àsìkò yìí ntẹ́jọ́ INEC máa ń sọ ni pé àwọn aboyún àwọn àgbàlagbà àwọn tó bá ní pèníjà ara àwọn ní ọkọ̀ dìbò ṣùgbọ́n ní ìsìn yẹn ìwí bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́.
àwọn wíbẹ̀ sà policy issue ni ní INEC mi ò fẹ́ sọ yẹn Yorùbá. ìlànà àtẹ̀lé INEC ni wípé priority voting ó gbọ́dọ̀ wà fún àwọn yẹn àkọ́kọ́ dìbò ìlànà àkọ́kọ́ dìbò ó gbọ́dọ̀ wà fún irú àwọn yẹn kì í wá ṣe fún àwọn tó nípèníjà nìkan ó tún kọ́ fún àwọn àgbàlagbà kì bá àjọkùnrin kì bá àjọbìnrin ó kọ́fà àwọn aboyún tá a ti rí báyìí ni o pé aboyún ni ó sì kọ́fà àwọn tí wọ́n ọlọ́mọ tí wọ́n ń gbé ọmọ lọ́wọ́ tá a rí báyìí tí wọ́n bá ti dé báyìí kí wọ́n lọ síwájú àwọn tí ó ṣètò ìdìbò àti làwọn lọ́yẹ̀ ó ti yé wọn dáadáa wípé priority voting wà fún wọn wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ kọ́kọ́ dá wọn lóhùn so àwọn àrò àwọn èèyàn wa nílé tí àwọn irú àwọn èèyàn yìí bá ti wá kí wọ́n máa gbà wọ́n láàyè láti sojúṣe wọn kí wọ́n sì máa bá ti wọn lọ torí pé kí ni o torí àwọn ìpèníjà ara tí wọ́n ní ó lè má gbà wọ́n láàyè kí wọ́n ráàyè dúró lọ títí fàpẹ̀rẹ́sìn ẹni tí ó jẹ́ person with albinism tóòrùn bá mú sàn pé kò lè dúró pẹ́ nínú oòrùn tó bá ti dé fún jẹ́ tètè jẹ́ sojúṣe rẹ̀ kó sì máa bá títí ẹ̀ lọ.
tó ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa láti bí ìṣẹ́jú díẹ̀ láti ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ètò ìdìbò tí ń bọ̀ lọ́nà yìí pẹ̀lú ọ̀gá ẹ̀ka kan ní olú iléeṣẹ́ àjọ elétò ìdìbò INEC ọ̀gbẹ́ni Ọláníyì Muyideen Adésínà tí wọ́n wá ṣojú fún ọ̀mọ̀wé Mustiu Agbókè tí ń ṣe olórí àjọ elétò ìdìbò ìpínlẹ̀ yìí adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín.
ẹ ṣe olóòtú.
àgbà wípé ohun tí a sọ yìí ó ti nípa lórí àwùjọ yìí. We want to especially appreciate our guest on the program, Mr. Ọláníyì Muyideen Adésínà, Head of Unit, Persons with Disabilities and Civil Society Organizations at the INEC headquarters. The topic of discussion this morning has been towards 2023 elections, ensuring free, fair,